Look at me.
Look like an activist to me.
Do I look like a terrorist to you? Well, early this summer, I had gotten kind of onto the Embridge pipeline story. And I started making it a habit once a week or so sometimes without my husband. Oh, I'm sorry, so you can hear, okay. I'm not a terrorist, but I started making what I called, going on once a week or so, an Embridge hunt up in the town of Green Grove where I live.
In Clark County.
The Embridge wasn't returning my phone calls. And one day I was so excited, we drove by the existing Embridge pumping station, and there was an Embridge truck and a pickup truck. So I said to my husband, because I was in our 2008 little black Kia with him and our 2 grandchildren, and let me off. So I got out and I went up to the padlocked gate, and the Embridge truck drove up, and the guy leaned out and he said, "What do you want? What can I help you with?" And I said, "Oh, I'm Linda Wyeth from the Sentinel and Rural News newspaper up in Owen, and I want to know what you're doing here." And he said, "What we're doing here?" I said, "Yeah, about the pipeline, the proposed expanded pipeline." And he said to me, "Oh, nothing. Nothing new." And I said, "Okay," and I left. 4 days later, an Embridge guy showed up at our newspaper office, and I wasn't there, but he talked to the lady who was there for a while, and finally said, "Well, those guys down by the pumping station, she came in a black car. They thought she might be a terrorist or something." And in Owen, I've told this story many times, and people are rolling on the floor laughing at the thought that I could be a terrorist. But they do worry about terrorists. Taxes. John touched on that just a little bit. I've checked in 3 counties, county treasurer's offices, and in every case, any actual property that Embridge owns is listed as exempt from property taxes. So although they're claiming to pay a property tax to the state in your county, there's nothing. Embridge is in the process of starting a $25 million new pumping station in the town of Green Grove, exempt from property taxes. That means they're not supporting the local schools or the local economy in that sense at all. And I don't think that's what I think of when I think of property taxes. Pipelines, someone said they're allowed to they have to inspect 1 in 10 wells. Actually, I believe since the Grand Marsh spill in Adams County in 2012, the corrective action order from the Pipeline Materials Hazardous Safety Administration says they now have to inspect 100%. So they brag on their website that they inspect 100%, but that's not because they want to, it's because the government told them they have to. Welts, bad welts. 2007, January 1st, 2007, pipeline spill in near the Owens Station in Clark County. 150,000 barrels spilled, 42 gallons per barrel. And it was found due to defective welds in pipes that were manufactured in December 1998 at Stupp Pipe Manufacturing Company in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Fast forward to 2012, in July, and there's a spill of, I don't know, maybe 120,000 barrels in Adams County, Grand Marsh in Adams County. And according to the report on that one, it was caused by defective welds in pipe, also 24-inch pipes manufactured in December 1998 at Stupp Manufacturing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we don't know how many of those 24-inch pipes are still in the ground. So that worries me. Let's see. When they do a spill cleanup, when they go into a spill cleanup area, as they did in Owen in 2007, they wear hazmat suits and and oxygen tanks at times too. So not a good, safe thing to be breathing or exposing yourself to in any way. The jobs myth. Talk about a myth. Oh yeah, it helps the economy in local areas by bringing jobs. In actual fact, there are very, very few local jobs. They outsource most of it, and so far, in the 2 sites I'm aware of that they're working on, they're both Minnesota companies. So your local people are not being helped. They do shop at the local stores, they stay in the local motels, people like that, but not really jobs at all. Kind of like the Pinocchi, the mines, Pros Mine in the Pinocchi Hills, you know. They'll have high-paying jobs, well, but they won't go to the locals. The original pipes were put in, between Ladysmith and Marshfield, were put in 1967. And there were 2 pipes at that time. Then in 1986, they got or 2006, they got the permits to expand the pipeline to 4 pipes. There are 800 plus spills in a short time. Right of way, it's my list of things I need to put together in the next couple of weeks. I need to make inclusive maps of all the Embridge pipelines because they call them all different names. You know, the little myth document that you have, well, that's really not pipeline 61 going there. That's pipeline 6 or 3A or 6B. And so on. So, and in each township and county, they also, their property is owned by different corporate entities, but they're all Embridge, whether it's Lakehead, Lakeline, but it's all the same company. What else am I going to do? Well, I want to find out what products, what of these products, whether it's the crude oil or the dilbit, the diluted bitumen, is going to be going to China. I need to check on how the agreements with property owners work. I have copies of agreements from the township of Hickson up north. It's interesting. It includes an agreement that there's a secret payment that'll be kept confidential and not recorded. So I'd like to find out how much people are getting paid, if it's annually or if it was a one-time thing. I need to check with realtors to find out what their obligations are when they're buying and selling property to disclose to people if there's pipeline right away through their property. Zoning. Everywhere zoning is critical. We have it, John talked about not having zoning in the township in Wood County, and so they got what they wanted. Well, we don't have any zoning in Clark County, so the zoning defers to the county or the township zoning administrator if there is one. And in Green Grove, yes, we have a township zoning administrator, but there's no teeth in the zoning. It's meaningless. So zoning is it. Embridge is right now attempting to get rights of eminent domain up in Douglas County because they're having trouble with the landowners up there who don't want to cooperate in selling them the rights away for their things. Oil trains, another issue. That's just a few things that I'm looking at. And if anybody has more information, send it to me. Send it to me. I didn't bring in my cards, but my email address is Linda Wyeth, LINDAWYETH @yahoo.com. And just put something in the header about pipeline or something so I'll know. But it's important. It's critical. Our water is critical. And that's what it comes down to for me, is that we need to protect our water. And nobody's going to do it in this state right now, if we don't do it. We have to do it. So, thank you.